Hello, Taurus. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week of October 2nd, 2016. And hello to you, Taurus Rising and Taurus Moon people as well. So, this week, you guys, I think I'm going to let everyone know we've got a lot of squares going on in the astrology. And what squares do is they create pressure. But a lot of the times with squares, we see good things come out of that pressure as well. And you may be finding yourself in a position where things could be kind of, just a little bit too hectic, but there's a big test going on this week, and for the rest of this month, for that matter, and that has a lot to do with, can you accept good news and good fortune, even if it comes rough around the edges? Because sometimes folks do have a tendency, they only focus on the edge. I was just telling the Aries people, so we all know that person who's kind of like, even if something is 95% perfect, if it's only 95%, they throw it in the trash, like they just can't cope. And this is a big test that everyone has to be looking at, especially this week with these kinds of squares, because these are opportunities with huge rewards. Squares tend to have big payoffs, but we need to be okay with participating and not just hoping the squares are going to do all the work. So what is going on with these squares? Well, Tuesday and Wednesday, we've got Mars in your 9th house of higher education, communication, travel, and multimedia communications, forming a square with Jupiter in your 6th house of reputation and daily work and service to others. And this actually will show where there is a need for you to kind of open up a bit more, and we're going to be talking about this again with the other square as well. There's going to be a need to be kind of more transparent with people, and in a situation that you might not find to be appropriate. You might not think it's time to get personal. Maybe you operate in a way that's a bit more conservative, a bit more, just a little bit more boundaries than, and this kind of square is kind of asking you, for the sake of your work, for the sake of your professional life, actually even perhaps for the sake of your scholastic life, it's time to actually kind of bring in more of a personal touch and take down some of those boundaries and work with that transparency, because people are going to be looking for people who are just a little bit more real, even if it might seem too real, compared to recent weeks and months. Sometimes we're always trying to put on our best face, we're always trying to put on our best look, but at the same time, this is kind of saying, like, where do we start shedding some of the appearances that we have been keeping up? Because all of a sudden people are looking for more of that transparency. And again, it may present a bit of a cognitive dissonance because it's not the way things are normally done at the office. It's not the way things are normally done at school. It's not the way things are normally done in X, Y, and Z culture. But this week, believe me, it's actually the cure to a long-term ill. On Friday, we've got the Sun forming a square with Pluto. And this is between the same areas, the 6th house of reputation and daily work and the 9th house. But this is actually, again, talking about culture. And this is talking a bit more about, an internal clash or an internal dissonance with a cultural figure. However you define this cultural figure, this person could be a religious figure, this person could be a member of your family, this person could be an educator, a politician, this could actually be just an artist that you recognize and revere. But, it might not sound significant to be putting this into a forecast video, but it is. Because usually when these dissonances happen, again, very similar to a video that I put out recently on checking our resonance, the need to check our resonance, the need to check what we resonate with, what we're compatible with, will come up with this angle. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be bad news, but what's going to happen is you're going to find out that some things that you do relate to about this person are some things that you really don't think any person should hold on to. And that's okay, because sometimes these cognitive dissonance issues do need to be worked out, especially if they are a part of a family culture, a spiritual culture, or a social culture that may actually prove to be more of an oppressive norm. Examine the taboos that you wish were not taboo, because those are going to be questions you need to ask yourself, and it is okay to rock that boat this week. So what is going on with your cards? Well, we do have the card of the Wild Hunt. And this is all about things getting just a little bit out of control, but not necessarily out of control in a bad way. Remember, this is a time where we are talking about, actually being able to see the good with the rough edges. And with the Wild Hunt, this actually is talking about things getting a little bit carried away, but not necessarily carried away in a way that is against your favor. We may have to bring a lot of situations to a head this week, but it's important because we have been needing to do this for a long time. The Wild Hunt card, or the Frenzy card, here can often talk about a need where, we have been ignoring this for far too long. This is kind of like the Tower card in the Tarot. This could be a discussion that needs to happen with a coworker, or with a love partner, or with a relative. But the interesting thing is we both come out okay after that moment, and it's kind of understanding that you do have to kind of go over the tough mountain or through the dark tunnel to get out to the other side. And the more we procrastinate it, the longer it's going to take. And that kind of thing with this card can talk about a need to kind of hurry this up, hurry this along. So whatever discussion you've been kind of putting off for too long with these people needs to be brought up this week. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Queen of Wands inverted. And this card can indicate some challenges coming from a fire sign, most likely female, an Aries, a Taurus, or a Leo, you're the Taurus, an Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo. That looks like this person is trying to perhaps culture or choreograph, or maybe even in her own way, control a work environment where she has no authority. And this could be, a new boss. Some people, they always got to come in and mark their territory. Or this could be somebody who is just basically trying to gun for a higher position, but they are starting to throw their weight around in a way that is, again, it's just way too much. It's not something that is actually conducive. There may even be a coup this week to get rid of this person. That just kind of came to me. But what I'm also seeing with the Queen of Wands inverted is to pay attention to the fact that even though this person is making a complete ass of themselves, I don't want you to take everything so personally as to make it about you, because you don't want to steal their bad limelight. For your communications with air, when it comes to messages you get from friends, the relatives, the others in your life, we've got the Hierophant card inverted. And I know it's like super bright. It's super bright in here. I'm hoping I can try and fix this light as we get further and further relaxed into my move. But the Hierophant card inverted is basically saying we have somebody going out of their way to break the rules for you, break the rules on your behalf. And they could be breaking silly rules that, are meant to be broken or should not exist. And this could actually be a friend or a relative who is taking your side in a bit of a clash where it feels like it's been you against the rest of the people in this group, you and the rest in this circle. There could also be a chance that you are the Hierophant card inverted this week, and it's calling on you to see past rules being rules. Let go of any kind of authoritarian priority that could be going on in your family circle, in your friendship circle, and focus on doing the right thing. Because this week, we're going to be thinking about what is the difference between being right and doing what is correct, because correct and right are very different. Correct is doing something by the books. Doing something right might not be on the books. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Six of Swords upright. Your challenge this week actually does indicate leaving something behind that is actually too dramatic, too, I guess you could say, too hectic, and all in all, just too unstable. This could be a situation, this could be a person, because the Six of Swords is saying, look, knowing when to walk away is actually what's healthy for you. All right, if and this isn't a matter of judging people or losing patience with people. If there is a dysfunction going on, or if there is some, a toxic situation happening here, or we're in a situation where even, financially or even with our health, we're just seeing ourselves go nowhere. Don't take so long to walk away because you want to because you're worried that walking away will make you look less compassionate. That's not really the point of this. This is about ending a situation that needs to end. And also, I kind of think about you know, there's like a little saying, a little meme, it's one of those unknowns going around Facebook, you know, where it's basically saying, you know, don't get upset about making a mistake, or don't be afraid to walk away from making a mistake just because you took a long time doing it. We've all been there. And your challenge this week is to make sure that we can actually walk away for good. Don't try and tell yourself you're the martyr, you're the savior, you're the saint here, by staying in a situation that is toxic to both of you or all parties involved. For your emotions with water, we do have the Six of Wands inverted. And this card can actually be really nice inverted because this can talk about somebody finally coming around to understanding what you've been trying to say to them all along. We have clarity coming with the Six of Wands inverted. If there have been clashes with a lover or a crush that don't seem to be gaining any headway, no one's winning, no one's losing, it's just kind of frozen, we do have that person actually starting to come around to your way of thinking. And the Six of Wands inverted can often talk about, you know, people actually giving the other person's idea, the other person's plan of action, a real serious chance, and actually stop, you know, nobody's thinking about trying to be right or getting their way anymore. It's really talking about compromise. The Six of Wands inverted can also indicate a point where you may be feeling like it, you know, it's time for you to backpedal away from someone that you've had a crush on for a little while, and there may be something about them that turns you off this week. But don't worry, with the Six of Wands inverted, usually a very adequate replacement or a very adequate solution is very much also around the corner. But with the Six of Wands inverted, again, very much with that Six of Swords, it does talk about, look, where do we need to stop having the same altercation over and over again and just have the peace? And we can bring that into our love lives as well. So that is your forecast, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.